Greetings. This is Hazel Moon bringing you simple Bible lessons to increase your faith and understanding of who Jesus Christ, the Messiah, is. Today's broadcast is chapter 13, Who is Jesus? And it's about the Sermon on the Mount. And Jesus went about all Galilee, teaching in their synagogues and preaching the gospel of the kingdom and healing all manner of sickness and all manner of disease among the people. And his fame went throughout all Syria, and they brought unto him all the sick people that were taken with divers diseases and torments, and those that were possessed with devils, and those who were lunatics, and those that had palsy, and Jesus healed them. And there followed him great multitudes of people from Galilee, and from Decapolis, and from Jerusalem, and from all Judea, and beyond the river Jordan. And the crowds pressed upon him, and it was often necessary for Jesus to get away to a quiet place. So he went up unto a mountain, and his disciples and some of the people followed him. Matthew's gospel recounts in chapters 5, 6, and 7 what is known as the Sermon on the Mount. And there Jesus began to teach them by saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. And blessed are the meek and humble persons, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are you when you are persecuted for righteousness' sake, and when people say all manner of evil about you falsely. Just simply rejoice, for great is your reward in heaven. Jesus went on to speak about similarities. You are the salt of the earth. But take heed not to lose your favor, or then salt is good for nothing. He likened believers unto a city that sat on a hill, where all could view the light coming from it. And he urged believers to let their light shine. Jesus warned of undue anger and holding grudges against others, but instead to make things right and forgive. Jesus said to be sensible in what you look at, for the eye gate is entry into the soul. So be cautious also to give your word and not to swear using God's name. Jesus taught to love your enemies, and that a kindness of giving a cup of cold water would heap coals of fire on your enemy's head. Jesus spoke about charitable giving, not to make a show openly, but rather to give in secret. Jesus was also against making a display when you pray, but instead to find a quiet place, even if it is your closet. Jesus gave us an example of how to pray. To our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. The important thing is that when you pray, to come with a clean heart, free from bitterness, hard feelings, and unforgiveness. Jesus said, forgive first and then pray, because your prayers will not even be heard if you harbor unforgiveness in your heart. Jesus reminded us that we cannot serve two masters. We must serve God only and obey him. Jesus spoke about fasting, but again, do this in secret. to become close to God and not to display your righteousness and your holy look. Investments in this earth are good, but true treasure is stored up in heaven as God keeps his records. Jesus spoke about fear and said, "Be not anxious and do not worry, because your Father knows what you have need of even before you ask." The important thing is to seek God and his kingdom first, and then all these other things that you fret about and think you need, they'll be added unto you. Jesus said, "Ask, seek, and knock, and God shall give it to you," because God is a good Father. Lastly, Jesus ended his sermon by saying to listen carefully and to heed his teachings. For doing so is like a man who built his house on a rock, and when the storms came, his house would stand. The foolish would not pay attention to the teachings of Jesus, but they would build on the sand. And when the storms came, their house would be washed away and lost. Matthew 7:28 completes the Sermon on the Mount by saying, "It came to pass when Jesus had ended these sayings, the people were astonished at his doctrine, for he taught them as one having authority and not as the scribes." Until next time, this is Hazel Moon, asking that God's blessings will rest on you as you continue to seek understanding of who is Jesus. May you have a blessed day. God bless you all.